In this video, we're going to be going over a Section 8 government subsidized tenant application. We're going to go over all the paperwork here so you know how to fill it out so your tenant can get approved to be on this Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher program. We got to go over all this stuff together so you know what's the best way to submit it so you can get the highest ROI on your rental property when renting to a Section 8 tenant. All right, so let's go over this stuff. Okay, class, it's Chris Haskins with therealestateroundup.com. My mission, my ministry is to raise your financial literacy through real estate investing and entrepreneurship. I want to thank you. This is my first video since over a month ago. If you don't know, April 10th, I had to have emergency back surgery. 7 years ago, I had a laminectomy. They went in and trimmed one of my discs. The same disc is kind of going bad. I know I'm doing my best to continue to make content for you. So I went into the hospital, went and got an MRI. One of my discs is called a herniated disc, and the disc pushes on those nerves. And let me tell you, when your leg goes numb and all your stuff goes numb below your waist, it could be a little scary. So I've been in the bed actually for the last month. And I just want to say thank you to all of the emails, comments, and posts and direct messages you have sent me. Me and my family sincerely thank you. And if you follow my content, you know I've moved from my house, moved into a new property. So I decided to list that house on Section 8. And I want to go over the process. What does the housing department look for when you're submitting this application? You got to know how to fill this stuff out properly so you can get the highest ROI. If you fill it out wrong, you might be liable, or you might have to pay some of the utilities and all that stuff. So we're going to go over this 3 or 4 pages so you know how to fill this stuff out when you list your property on the Section 8 housing list and you submit it to get your monthly rent. First of all, why do we deal with Section 8? I got to tell you, Section 8 is my favorite type of tenant. Why is that? Well, why not partner with the biggest, baddest business in the land, the United States government? Each and every month I get my rent on time, no matter what. Now, the tenant is responsible for a portion of the rent, but at least we know we're going to get the part that's paid by the government, right? So let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to bring up on the stage, and hopefully by the end of the video, we're going to have a link in the video description if my team can do that to give you, since you've been hanging out with me, I haven't made a video in over a month. Since you've been loyal and one of my round up family members, and we're going to give you my application. What do we give the prospective tenants when they show up? And I'm going to give you my Section 8 lease. What do we use? I use a lease that renews itself every year for another 2 years. So we do 3 years only. 3 years only. Now let my tenants know that, my applications. Listen, my applicants, we do 3 years only. Is it a problem for you, right? You need to say that we're a serious face. So page 1, the certification. The Hampton Development and Housing Authority, or whatever your authority is going to be, appreciate your consideration of a Section 8 voucher holder for occupancy of your rental units. We would like to remind you that HRHA has not, I repeat, has not screened this family other than for basic eligibility requirements of the program. It is up to you to screen the family for suitability for your units. I cannot stress this enough. You are in charge of who goes inside of your property, okay? No, just because they're on Section 8 doesn't mean they're going to be a great tenant. They have good and bad. So we got to make sure that you screen them. And we'll do another video showing you exactly what we look for when we screen tenants. But here's page 1. All of this is head of household and who you are as a landlord, okay? That's page 1. Page 2, request for tenancy approval. Got your address there, the requested lease start date, number of bedrooms, year constructed. Number 6, proposed rent. How much do we want to rent this for? And let me tell you, right before the pandemic, this property here might have rented for $1,300, $1,400. Now it's going for $2,000, $2,300. All right. Security deposit, and the date is available for inspection. All right there. Number 9, structure type. This is a single family property. Now pay close attention here. You got to get this right, or you're going to be paying for things that I don't necessarily think you should. All right. So number 11 at the bottom, the owner shall provide or pay for the utilities appliances indicated by O. The tenant shall provide or pay for utilities appliances indicated by T. All right, so look, heating, natural gas. You see on the right-hand side here, I've got the majority of things paid for by the tenant. I do not want you out there paying for electricity, gas, water, sewer, all that stuff, because you don't necessarily need to. Now, some tenants may need you to pick up one of those bills, but I want you to put as much as you can on the tenants because the government is paying it on behalf of the tenant. So cooking, there's electric in this unit here. The water heater is gas. I want the tenant. See on the right, tenant. Water, sewer, trash collection, that comes with city taxes. That's me, I will pay for that. Air conditioning is tenant. Refrigerator, I will supply a refrigerator sometimes, but that doesn't mean that you have to do that all the time. I'm here to tell you, if you put the refrigerator in there, then it's going to have to work properly. Cut this thing off. But if you let the tenant bring their own refrigerator, then it's up to them to make sure that it works properly. So refrigerator, range, oven, you don't even have to supply that if you work it out with the tenant. All right, next page. Now, the main thing we look for here is letter C, number 12C. If the place was built before 1978, you have to give them the lead-based paint disclosure. You can get one of those for free right from the housing department. They give them out. So just make sure you pass that on to the tenant. And at the bottom here, all it says is who you are and who the tenant is and their social contact number, all right? And this page, the next page here, next page is the lead-based paint. Once again, you have to initial. Let me tell you, I've seen people get in real trouble in case somebody gets sick from eating lead-based paint. If you have a property that's built before 1978, let me tell you a real story. I saw a case on TV. Child died. They found out it was from eating lead-based paint, right? And the owner did not give the tenant the disclosure. The owner actually carbon copied the signature from the tenant onto the document. So you can really get in trouble if you just, all you have to do is give them that document. That way you're off the hook for saying, listen, I don't know if it's lead-based paint in here or not. You've been informed that the landlord has no idea. So make sure they initial this. You've got to get the initial. Do not skip this part, y'all. I don't want you getting in trouble for that lead-based paint. I have no knowledge of lead-based paint. I always put the second one. So leaseor, that's us, has no knowledge of lead-based paint and or lead-based paint hazards in the housing. I have no records of lead-based paint at all. No tests. All right, and here's the last one here. This is extremely important, y'all. Good gracious. This is where you put all the things that are included, all the amenities and all the features of your property, right? So the address up top, number of bedrooms, baths, single family detached, year built, primary heat, gas, furnace. They're gonna look at all this stuff to determine when they do something called a rent reasonableness test, okay? Rent reasonable test is where they go out and they say, is this property really worth $2,000 or $2,100 a month? Well, let's take a look here. We'll look at all this stuff and then they'll look at the surrounding rental units to verify that your place is actually worth that. All right, the appliances. Are you giving a refrigerator? Remember, if you're not giving a refrigerator, that could be an issue. Does it have a dishwasher? Is it comparable to other units that do or don't have a dishwasher? Ours has washer, dryer, hookups, and we have a fireplace. Darn, I missed that. I'm gonna put a fireplace on that one. Electrical service, accessory structures. It does have a shed, so that's a thumbs up. We're not supplying any services. Parking, we do have a driveway, so that's important. That's gonna be comparable to other units that do have a driveway. And remember, up north, all my northerners and city people, sometimes units don't even have a driveway. It's off-street parking. We gotta just park on the street. And is it within a mile of the parks, or bus lines, medical facilities, any type of stores or schools? All that's going to determine whether your unit is going to be desirable and if it's reasonable to get the rent that you're looking for. So there's a link in the video description below. You can join our email list and you can also get my application and my lease. But this video here was just to show you what does it look like when you apply and when you turn in all the paperwork for your Section 8 tenant, all right? So make sure you're subscribed to the channel and follow the content. I look forward to getting back on the horse. I'm not quite there yet. I'm still you see I'm doing this video standing up. I don't even like sitting down yet. My back is still not 100%. I'm about 82%, all right? So give us a thumbs up and I look forward to hanging out with you once again in the future as we continue to raise our financial literacy in real estate and make some more money as this recession is coming into town. All right, see you on the next video. Peace.